In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a beautiful Czech Pirc defense game played by Grandmaster Rivas Pastor, playing with the black pieces. Now, what is the Czech Pirc defense for those of you that haven't heard of it? Well, it's against the move e4, in which case we start out with the Pirc defense. We play d6. We now play knight f6, but against knight c3, we're not going with the mainline type of idea of g6, but we're instead playing the move of c6 here with a lot of flexible ideas. By playing the move of c6, you are neutralizing the knight on c3. You are giving your queen flexibility, and you are also looking at potential pawn breaks like d5 or b5. All right, now I did make it over a 6-hour course, and I'm giving out a 30% off discount code for my Czech Pirc course, as well as the rest of my courses. If you're interested in that, go down link below, go down the description below, plug in the discount code CHESS25. If you plug CHESS25 in before the end of April, you will get 30% off any course or courses you purchase. Whether you get one, whether you get all 5, you'll get 30% off. So I hope you guys enjoy that. But okay, this move c6 in the course, I covered a lot of different moves here that we could see from white, including bishop to g5, which is what we saw in this game. Here, GM Rivas Pastor continued with queen to b6, and I love this move. Bishop takes f6. We see it all the time in online chess, but it's just a bad move for white because we now have queen takes b2. Right now, we're down a piece for our pawn. However, we are both attacking the hanging bishop on f6 and attacking the now hanging knight on c3. If you move your bishop, thanks for the knight, right? And yeah, I mean, if we see something like knight to a4, here we don't want to throw in a check because of c3, and we cannot take that knight without losing our queen. We save our queen, but then they save our bishop, guys. We're down a piece for our pawn. This is not good. So what do we do instead? Queen to a3. Queen to a3. Now if you play c3, well, okay, we take your bishop. And if you decide to sacrifice the bishop and then play something like c3, sure, you got something for the bishop, but now we play b5, your knight's trapped. We're winning. So there's a lot of ways that white can fall into trouble against this move of queen to b6, and there's different things that we could see. Maybe white will play a move here like rook to b1. Maybe we'll see the move of pawn to a3. Now, if you see a3, you don't want to take this. Okay, I talk about that in my course. I talk about it on this channel. Subscribe if you're interested in more chess content, by the way, and you like this kind of chess opening theory. But yeah, queen takes b2. I mean, this is just bad. I mean, we're going to lose. Knight a4. Knight a4. We just lost our queen. So, yeah, not good. But okay, in the game here, we have queen to d2. And in this case, there's multiple options, although I kind of take the approach of going, you know what, if I'm playing queen b6 and I'm able to take this pawn, I'm just going to go take it. And that's exactly what we see in the game here. Rook b1 is played, attacking the queen. We now have queen to a3, getting out of there. And white has, you know, some things that they can go with. One move that is challenging for us is pawn to e5. Now, if we do see that, h6 is a move that I really like. Now, if you want to take on f6 with your bishop, for example, okay, we take with the e-pawn. We continue from here. If you capture on f6 with your pawn, that's not great because we now capture your bishop. If you take on e7, our bishop takes back. We're defending g5. If you take on g7, we capture back. We're up a pawn. We have great activity here against d4. This knight on c3 is vulnerable. And we have the bishop here. I mean, just a lot of things are going well for us. We're over -2 here for black. This is great. No complaints. So queen to a3. You know, white does have to be careful. In the game, we have bishop takes f6. The moment white does this, black has an edge. And in this game, black never let go of it. We have e takes f6, g takes, or e takes are both playable there. They both have their pros and cons. One nice thing about taking with the e-pawn there, even though you're taking away from the center, is that you do get the very quick bishop e7 and castling idea, right? So that's something to think about. Now, castling kingside is played here. Here, I would recommend black play queen a5. This is a key idea when you're going into these queen takes b2 ideas. You're getting your pawn, you're coming back to a3, and you're looking to come to a5, getting your queen safe. You got your pawn, get the heck out of there, and continue playing up a pawn. In the game, though, we have the move of knight to d7. Now, this isn't losing, but this gives white the opportunity to play knight to d1. And by doing that, our queen can't go to a5 anymore. Where's our queen going to go? You can't go to... Well, I guess you could go to a4, but where are you going to go after that? A lot of squares here are covered all of a sudden, and this knight could be looking towards an e3, f5 kind of break. If we take on a2, knight e3 again, And, you know, here we could think about bishop to d8 or knight b6 and then queen e6, because then our queen has some options to run away. But right now, if we play queen e6, we're losing. Knight f4. The only safe spot we have for our queen is going back to where we were. Here, white could play knight f5. They could also attack our queen and then play knight f5. The threat now is to trap our queen. And the reason that they play knight f5 is not just to attack our bishop, but to also defend this pawn. Right? Our queen is threatened in terms of it getting trapped, and our bishop is hanging. So this is just dead losing for us. So going back, again, in the game we have the move of knight to d7. That gives white the opportunity to play knight to d1. Now white here did move this knight, but they moved it up to d5. This is a mistake. Now I understand that white here is trying to trap this queen, but you're giving up too much material here. Black here calmly captures back, rook to b3, and here queen a4, playable. Although, of course, against that, bishop to b5 could be played, and then it's like, okay, fine, we'll have to take on a2. Or you could take on a2, which is the best move. Queen c3 is what white went with here, and I understand the logic behind it. You are threatening to play rook a1. You're threatening that, and our queen cannot move. But is this losing for black? Nope, this is winning. We have a winning position now. Completely winning position. What are we going to do? D takes e4. Take the pawn. And that's what we see in the game. Now, if white did play rook a1, they didn't. But if they did, our queen's done. Let's get something for that queen, right? We don't want to just leave it there. Let's get something for that queen. Capture on d3. And here in this position, they have a queen. What do we have in return for that single queen? We have a rook, 2 bishops, and 2 pawns. So you got 9 points versus 13 points. 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2. And I think my math's right there. Right, 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2, 13. Minus 9 is 4. Yeah, okay. 4-point advantage. And yeah, I mean, you know, it's hard, right? I talk a lot about the fact that if your opponent has a queen and you don't, it's just hard to play. Maybe I'd feel a little bit differently about it if we didn't have a knight, but we are matching up with that knight in terms of force, and we're matching up with this rook. The only thing we're not matching up with is the queen, and against that queen, we have a rook and 2 bishops. And 2 pawns. So there's just a lot of material on the board here, a lot of material flying around. We're over -4 in terms of the eval here. Over -4. For example, we could play d5. If you want to attack our pawn, okay, knight b6. That's a hole. That's a square we could very easily throw our knight into if we want to in the future. Our bishop has a bunch of squares that it could look to activate towards. We're going to get our rooks activated, and white in this position, they're just lacking the ability to do much. So this is winning for us. So beautiful idea there from the black side. Of course, white here goes, you know what, fine, I'll take on e4. And at this point, is queen a4 a good move? Nope, rook a1. Our queen's trapped. Our queen's trapped, and we didn't get all the material that we just did in the previous example. Okay, so here white has an advantage, if not winning, against most moves. Queen takes b3 is our best try there, but again, queen a4 is a mistake. What do we see instead? Queen a6. Beautiful idea. Now, if you want to play rook a1, we just say thanks for the knight. We're good. Right now, we're up 5 points of material. We could be up 8 if the knight stays there and it stays hanging. So we have knight to f4. Again, white is going, you know what? I want to play this rook move. I want to trap your queen. But what do we see from black? Pawn to d5. Opening up the d6 square for the queen. That's the main purpose of that. White here, out of desperation, decides, you know what, I got to try to attack the king there. We see queen h3. We see queen h5. How can we get more defensive resources to help out our king? We're up 7 points of material. And when you're up 7 points of material, you got to trade down and you got to make the game boring. Okay, you don't want complications. You don't want crazy stuff happening all over the place. Now here, it honestly is complicated in a lot of ways. But what is our objective here? Our objective is to trade down. We're also getting attacked. Our king is in much greater danger than white's, which means that we need to trade down here. So what do we see from black? f5. And rook h3 wasn't played in the game, but if white did do that, I can guarantee that black would have played queen h6. Queen h6. That's the whole idea of that, bringing the queen over. Now, if white takes, and they take again, we do have bishop g5 here, forking the rook and the knight. But even if we didn't have that, even if we just lost a pawn there, it's okay. If you're up 7 points in material, you lose a pawn, and then you're up 6 and the attack's over, that's great. even if you're up 7 points and the attack ends and then you're up 2 points, oh wait, you're still winning, right? So, in one sense, of course, we'd rather be up 7 points than 1 or 2. On the other hand, who cares? If you're up in the end game 1 pawn or 2 pawns, or a piece for a pawn, or a rook, or a queen, all of those equal a win. So, I do think that, this is definitely not what white wants, not to mention that we do a bishop g5 in that case. So with the move queen h6, white could play queen f3. Of course, we play queen to g5. Let's say we see something like rook to h5 here. What do? Offer a trade. Offer a trade every chance you can get. Queen to g4. Continue offering trades. Continue doing that. We're attacking the queen. We're attacking the knight. We're pressuring the rook. Great position, winning position for black. But okay, in the game here, we have knight takes d5, and now bishop to d8. Now, this is a threat, right? Nothing's defending the bishop here, so it's not like, by white taking that, oh, we can take back. No, knight takes e7 is a checkmate threat. So let's save our bishop now. Rook h3 is played, and here we go. Queen to h6. Going, you know what? Go up, get a little bit of material back. Get a pawn back. If you take my queen and you capture again, you'll get a pawn back, but you're still going to be down 5 points. So what does white do? Well, they don't do it. They don't go for that. They play queen to e2. We have queen to g6. Rook to e1 is played. Knight to f6. Getting defensive sources ready. Knight to f4 is what white goes with here. And now we have queen to g5. Queen to g4 is a great move according to the engine. Queen g5 as well. Attacking this knight. Queen e5 is played. Bishop to d7. Solid move here. Just kind of, activating our pieces a little bit, getting some pieces off of the back rank. This rook is closer in terms of getting into the action. And we're also looking towards a rook e8 idea, potentially, with that bishop there. Okay, if we didn't play bishop d7, if we just played here, we're losing. Queen takes e8, rook takes knight, we're done. So by bringing the bishop to d7, you're getting your pieces developed a little bit, you're activating your position, you're not giving white anything crazy, and you are now looking towards a rook e8 idea. That all of a sudden is a threat now that white needs to be worried about. So in the game we have queen to d6. If you did see something like rook to g3, knight to g4, we're attacking the queen. We're still pressuring your knight. This is great. But okay, queen to d6, we now have rook to e8. Again, black here offering a trade. What's white going to do here? If you decline the trade, if you run away or something, it's like, okay, we have a lot of moves here. Bishop to e7 is good. Bishop to c6 is good. Even bishop a4 is a good move, just activating our pieces. So there's a lot of good stuff here. But white here ends up taking and then playing the move rook to g3. What do we have now? Another offer of trades. Knight to e4. Going, you know what? You want to take my queen? Okay, I'll take yours. White here goes with queen e5, bishop f6. White resigns the game here. Okay, this game is over. Just a beautiful game. Again, if you want to take our queen, we'll take yours. We're attacking your rook with our knight. We're attacking your knight with our queen. We're attacking your queen with our bishop. White's entire attacking piece chain there is getting attacked. And it's simply resignable, and white did resign in that position. So I hope you enjoyed that Czech Pirc game. I thought there were a lot of key ideas there. And remember, right, when you're playing the Czech Pirc and you see something like bishop to e3, I talk about this in my course. If you see bishop e3, if you see bishop g5, and you play queen b6, and you end up going for that pawn, right? At some point there, you really do want to consider. You really do want to consider queen a5. Just getting your queen to a solid spot. I know it feels a little bit slow, but now your queen is safe, and you can keep playing from this point. And black does have an edge here. Black missed this. Really their only big mistake in the game, in my opinion. And white here failed to capitalize with knight to d1 ideas. Even here, the engine does like f5 ideas, looking to distract that pawn so that we can play d5, giving this bishop support towards the queen. And really, at the end of the day, right, getting this queen a d6 spot to run away to. And we were up a pawn. We gave it back. Okay, we're sitting at even material. But yeah, white misses that, right? And they instead go with a knight d5 idea here, in which case black goes, okay, I'll take. Okay, I'll take. Okay, I'll take. Trap my queen if you want to, but if you do, you're giving up so much material. And black there being up 4 points would have had a 1 game. So I hope you enjoyed that. Remember, if you want 30% off on any of my courses, my Hippopotamus Defense course, my Czech Pirc course, my How to Crush the Scandinavian course if you want my Ponziani, or my modern Scandinavian course, my newest course, which is over 11 hours in length. All you got to do, go down link below, go down the description, plug in the discount code CHESS25, and you will receive 30% off on your purchase, whether you get one course or all 5. Hope you enjoy them. See you in the next one. To finish out, I wanted to give a big shout out to my Patreon community, specifically Walter, Rob, Steve, Rob, Ray, and Roger, and the rest of my Patreon community. Thank you guys for your support. If you haven't checked out the Patreon already, there are some exclusive benefits that you gain by becoming a member. I look forward to seeing you over there, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.